This tutorial is about functions and how to identify them. So a function is stated as for each input, there is only one output. So what does that mean? Well, we can do it in three different ways. We can map them, we can graph, and then we can look at ordered pairs. And they all mean the same thing, just they look visually different. So mapping. Here are my inputs. And notice the outputs. There are only two outputs. However, each input only goes to one output. So this is a function. This one, here are your inputs and here are your outputs. Notice again that each input only goes to one output. This last one is not a function because look at this right here. Your inputs and your outputs, but this 8 has two outputs. You cannot repeat your inputs. So think of it as if we were to make this into tables. This would be your X value, this would be your Y value. So if you have any X values that repeat, like this one over here would repeat, then it is not a function. If you have graphed information, you can do what they call a vertical line test. Okay, you take your pencil. Most times teachers tell you take your pencil or a line, and if you can go straight across and each value that's been graphed only hits the pencil once, or you only have one value hitting at a time, then it's a function. So if I'm going straight across here, only one value at a time hits the pencil. However, when you have this situation, all my values hit the pencil, so therefore it is not a function. And then this one is also not a function because as I go across this way, I get several that hit at the same time. Okay, so if anything goes up and down like this, then it's not a function. Now, if we were to look at ordered pairs, like I said before, your X values cannot repeat. So my ordered pairs here, I have 1, 2, 2, 3. Not a function. I have two 2's and then two different outputs. Cannot happen. That's not a function. Because if I were to graph that and I did the vertical line test, these two values would hit that pencil at the same time. My X values here, 1, 2, 3, 4. None of these repeat, and it doesn't matter what my outputs are, okay? It just matters that none of my X values, my inputs repeat. Okay, so one more time, a function, for each input, there's one output, okay? Your X values, if you think of it that way, cannot repeat. I hope that helps.